November 21st, we had a extraordinary session yesterday. Extraordinary is not even fully encompassing what we saw yesterday. One of those days that we live for as traders. Beautiful day. A day that everybody should be making money, as we had a beautiful signal, just did a short all day long. Short, short, short. It's fantastic. And not only that, it was easy. It's just down, down, down. No bounces, just down. 1,400 points nearly. It's like 1350, 1360, something like that. Nearly 1,400 points on NASDAQ without a single material bounce. And still without a single material bounce. VIX is still holding 25. Will we get a bounce today? Probably. It's very difficult for the market to trend down. Now, on one hand, capitulation starts like this. Massive sells without a single bounce and just continues down for like 3-4 days. On the other hand, buyers typically love to hammer this stuff. So all to say is that there's no point in rushing anything. We have plenty of time. Yesterday, patience. If you want to take a textbook definition of what patience will do, look at yesterday's chart. Absolute terrible price action until about 10 o'clock. And then what happened? One of the best days we've had in 5 years. Extraordinary. So the theme here is just don't chase anything. The buyers are going to duke it out. They're going to put on a run. We have rate cut odds are skyrocketing. Yesterday, 70% chance of a rate pause. Today, 70% chance of a rate cut. That quick, it flipped. Why? Because the unemployment data is extraordinarily bad. Some of the highest unemployment we've had in 20 years. And that's with them doing their best to fraudulently inflate the numbers, which is pretty awesome. Somebody posted, again, I don't know if it's accurate, somebody posted a write-up yesterday that AI analyzed NVIDIA's earnings report and found it was riddled with fraud. There's a high probability of fraud, which is ironic considering they are an AI company. I don't know if that's true or obviously it's X. But in terms of price action here, we have still unable to get away from this little baseline. We're still unable to get over this baseline of 24,100 without a single bounce. If they give out this little node here, let me switch my screen. If they give out this little support, then we'll switch on down into the 23,000 area, of course. But my eyes need to be on two different areas today. One, volume, and number two, VIX. Watch the VIX. If they crush the VIX into a shortened holiday week, then we know what will happen. We'll probably quickly attack 24,640 on NASDAQ. And that is going to be my upside target in the event that things go bullish. That is the offering right now. So, how many points did I capture yesterday? 395 points, just under 400 total, under 3 different trades on NASDAQ. It was extraordinary. That was across multiple different accounts. I took a trade on TopStep, TPT, and IBKR. So 395 spread out on all 3 accounts. I completely missed yesterday's move. That's okay. There'll be another one. There's always another one. Buy the dip? Not yet. If the buyers haven't responded yet, then we need to be very careful trying to buy the dip yet. Just be patient. That's all I'm saying. Whether or not we're buying the dip or selling the rip or whatever, just be patient. Don't pigeonhole yourself into the environment. Just be patient. Don't try to call the bottom. Don't try to sell the rip. Don't try to catch a falling knife. Just be patient. The market will tip its hand here to those who are patient. Let me let you in on a little secret. Let me reduce the anticipation here. Not a single one of you knows what's going to happen. Predictions are worthless. Just be patient. I'm going to go get the papers. Get the papers. That's right. I posted the screenshots of the 10 a.m. market yesterday and the 3 p.m. market yesterday. It was extraordinary to see. It was extraordinary to see. It went from incredibly green, bright green everywhere, to every single thing was deep red. I love to see it. Looking across the market right now, we have a mostly green market. Not heavily green, but mostly green. 0.6, 0.3. Google's up 3.5%. Surprise, surprise. They're the golden child this year. The only thing that's red is energy and XLU utilities. Oil is down 2%. Silver's down 2.5%. Gold is barely green. Bitcoin is getting destroyed. I think they briefly tipped under 80,000, did they? I know they got pretty close. OM has watched a lot of movies. I watched a lot of 90s movies. I don't watch a lot of today's crap. It's nonsense. It's either woke nonsense or acting is terrible or just some sort of lame remake. Why would the dollar not be dumping considering the unemployment and jobs data? Oh, man. I tried to follow a lot of the dollar stuff back in 2022, and I didn't get a lot of value out of it, and there was never any rhyme or reason. It was just straight up or straight down, and it just never did what a lot of people said it should be doing in a given environment. So it was a non-value add to me, so I stopped watching it. Probably my favorite movie of all time is Warrior. Never heard of it. I'll have to take a look. Book of Eli. Is that with? Isn't that with Denzel? I don't think I've ever seen it. Braveheart's classic, absolutely. Are they selling puts? They are. They're also selling calls though. Right now, the hero is showing 370 million sold puts, 245 million sold calls. So there's no call buying here. It's all call selling. Watch the VIX. They're not deflating the VIX. Usually when we get a crush the VIX event, by now we're seeing the VIX just, go to the floor. And they are dropping it, but we're not really doing too much there. So just be patient. Just be patient. Today is Black Friday's, or TradingView's Black Friday special. So if you want to re-up your TradingView software, 80% off plus a 13th month for free on annual memberships. That's what I do every single year. So this week, every single year, I re-up my TradingView. Link is in the Discord channel if you want to take advantage. Highly recommend it. You're not going to get a better deal than that. There you go. Go grab your 80% off. What do I like most about TV? It's very clean, very aesthetically pleasing, has a ton of features, always reliable. Out of curiosity, how much of a kickback does TV give me? I don't know the percentages, honestly. It's not much. It's not much. I think in 4.5 years, I've made just under $2,000 worth of affiliate payments, and that's in 4 years, so not much. I'll give you a kickback, yeah. Still red, coming off 24,150 will be first target. There you go. I don't know what that is. Hold on. Oh, no, there you go. That's what I thought. I buy through your link in bulk every year like it's Costco. There you go, juice box. Yeah. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, another top wick here. Still unable to come down. Or go up, I'm sorry. VIX is coming back up just a little bit. 26. We have nothing but call selling, put selling. There you go. Will I do ultimate? I do. Every year I do ultimate. I was on a road trip all day yesterday. How was yesterday? Downtried. It was a fantastic day. Not a single. If you're a 3C trader, which I hope y'all of you are starting to believe the 3Cs, yesterday should have been short all day long. Not a single buy the dip. It was fantastic. Well, I say not a single. We had one decent buy the dip opportunity, but even then wasn't very strong at 322, and then they gave it all back. So that first rally was nothing but lower lows. It was extraordinary. Do I trade on TradingView? I do not trade on TradingView. I don't like linking up any of my brokerage accounts. What's the move? Right now, it's nothing. If I'm looking for one of those visceral bull moves, reactions from yesterday, usually we see it by now. But we haven't had any bouncing yet. We've had no bounces. So I know everyone's kind of expecting a huge bounce here, but until I see it, I'm not going to play it. I was going to swing a short-dated call yesterday, and I'm glad I didn't, because Theta would have whopped it, and IV Crush would have whopped it, even though IV hasn't really come off too much. Five-minute chart right now, we are back and forth. Very similar open to yesterday, just very tight. We've now been flat since 6 o'clock, which is very similar to yesterday. Have I had trouble getting paid out from TPT this week? I've requested 2, and it's been 2 days and still pending. I will say today, yes. Every other day this week, no. I requested $1,000 yesterday, and it's still pending, which is the first time that's ever happened. Usually by the time I wake up, I have the notification that it's been approved. So I request all my payouts at nighttime, and the daytime they're ready to go. So, yeah. But I also had a live account supposed to get activated today, and they didn't activate it. So everything is still pending for me. So, yeah, I got nothing to trade in terms of TPT with that stuff. So they must be running a little bit behind today. But other than today, no, I've never had a problem with anything. It's just, I'm sure they'll take care of it. I've noticed an interest. They've had a couple issues the past 2 weeks. I don't know if they're falling behind on staffing or what, but there's been a little uptick in some problems the past 2 weeks. But they've fixed everything, so whatever. You can't fault anyone for making mistakes if they fix stuff. Another topic on Nasdaq, unable to really go anywhere here. I'm still going to be patient. I don't want to front run anything. I'm starting to doubt whether swing trading and long-term investing are hard. Shouldn't it be the opposite compared to day trading? Long-term investing should be incredibly easy. There should be nearly zero difficulty in long-term investing. You simply buy high-quality products and you hold them forever. That shouldn't be difficult. The hard part about investing is just getting started, is separating yourself from the money that we want to use to buy stupid consumer products that do nothing for us, and finally investing in your future. Once you start the process, you'll never stop, and after that, it's on easy mode. Swing trading is difficult. All forms of trading is difficult. I don't consider investing trading. I consider investing. Swing trading is definitely difficult, but it is easier than scalping and day trading. After yesterday, how can traders feel comfortable buying? Well, because buyers have been rewarded every day now for 8 months. So ever since the first week of April, every single red candle has been aggressively hammered. And this is the first time since that it hasn't been. If you remember back on October 10th, we had a day like yesterday, very similar, and what happened the very next day? They rammed it down the bears' throats. Today, not so much. Which is why I'm thinking that if this doesn't bounce here soon, that we'll have a very similar day to yesterday. And that's really going to cause some pain, because everyone's expecting a bounce now, because that's what's been happening. So we have to judge right here which day is today. I don't want to go into prediction mode here, because predictions are pointless. Predictions are fun when you're right, but they're not so fun when you're wrong. So today, everybody's expecting a bounce like we've been doing now for 8 months, which probably will. Stats say we probably will. Now, from the price action, I'm not seeing it yet. Big red moves, capitulation style moves happen. They initiate like days like yesterday. Now, the fact that we've already done this on October 10th and October 11th tells me that we're going lower, because this 2 times doesn't really happen. And anyone who's even decent at price action and volume can tell you that the daily chart is distribution. There's nothing bullish about the daily chart. So, yeah, I'm just kind of waiting here for the opening hand to tip itself. Now, next week we have a shortened holiday week. It's essentially a 3-day week. The market is technically open on Black Friday, add the day after Thanksgiving, but there ain't much going on. So yeah. I'm doing the SPY options. Do you think we break low with Delta? If we break the lows, then yeah, I would expect a visceral downside continuation. It's a very similar open to yesterday, just back and forth, grindy back and forth. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Red move. What are we doing, baby? What are we doing? We have a bunch. We just had data at 9:45. We have a bunch more at the top of the hour. So be ready. Yesterday's news was terrible. Look, still getting pummeled here. Still getting pummeled. New low, baby. Coming off. New low. Coming off. 9:45 game time, baby. Yeah, so we just breached lows. Buyers are unable to put on material bounce VIX's rocket ships. We have no real material put buying, but we have aggressively bearish order flow. First target will be that big green pop from 23,964. I got this email from Midway USA. The California legislature resurpassed Assembly 1263, which puts additional regulations on the sale of shipment of firearms and gun assembly tools. Unfortunately, this means there will be some new restrictions on how you order and how we ship firearm parts and gun assembly tools to me. Interesting. Yeah, California's not even in America anymore. It's its own country. The problem is VIX is chopping. Well, I don't think VIX is chopping. VIX just launched back to 26. Those are the days you take one scalp to keep your account active. The barcode days, yeah. We have that BS coming to Virginia soon. It's unfortunate, man. Gun legislation is some of the dumbest legislation in the country. It's idiotic. Look what happened to the Glock. What did the Glock just do? Glock just bent the knee to California and created the V models that don't allow switches. And what happened? It took all of 30 days for people to learn how to create a switch that can go on the V models. So nothing was done. That's why gun laws are the dumbest in the world. Idiots vote for gun laws. It's ridiculous. A crap load of puts just got rolled off. Yep, you're right. They are selling the crap out of puts. Big time. And they're starting to trickle back into some calls here. So they just went from 219 to 600 million in puts sold right here. It wasn't even on the market yet by the time they figured out how to mod them. Tell me about it. Beautiful stuff, baby. Beautiful stuff. No need for automatics for the average person. Now, I think every single person needs to have an automatic. Fully automatic machine gun. And bazookas. And grenade launchers. Am I expecting the 950 low to hold? I don't know. Right now, I'm just going to chill. The options flow is not actively bullish, but it's not bearish either. They are selling the crap out of puts. They're not buying calls, but they are selling puts like they're going out of business. Now, you would expect to see that. Tremendous amount of puts are in the money on the short dated scale, so they're going to sell some puts. But they're not buying calls. If they start buying calls, we will play the bounce. If we have a 3C bottom wick, we'll play the bounce. Right now, we have a 5-minute high volume spike. We have a bottom wick. If we have a higher high, which is about 24,230, then we'll play the 3C long. So patience will treat. I promise you, if you're patient, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded. Just be patient. What happened to NVIDIA? NVIDIA got dumped at the open. Flamethrower is where I draw the line. I wish I could mount a flamethrower to the front of my truck. Another top wick on NASDAQ, no movement. This is the same open as yesterday, I promise you. Be patient. Flamethrowers are legal in California. Nice. Be patient. So there's a new prop firm opening up. It's an options prop firm, $49 a month, 3 payouts until you move to your live. It's 90-10 split. There's an end of day drawdown. It doesn't fail when you hit unless you close below it. So if you hit it, you have until the end of the day to get your balance back over, and you're good to go. Interesting. There's an instant funding option for $500. I'm telling you, man, the prop firm space is going to get incredibly competitive in the next couple of years. Is that the one your boy Patrick pitches out there? I don't know. I just saw it come across Twitter for the first time. I've never heard of it before. No movement so far. We're back and forth. $24,300 will be upside target if we break. I need over 24,230 to get a 3C. About DraftKings. Yeah, look at all that resistance, Craig. VIX is still holding 25. They're not deflating the VIX, but they're not climbing the VIX. They're selling a tremendous amount of puts. They're not buying calls, but they are selling a crap ton of puts. 700 million in puts sold. Right there. Blue line is puts. It's going straight up. That means puts are being sold. Sold. How's everybody doing on YouTube? You do okay yesterday? You freeloaders? There we go. 230 going up. Can it hold? Can it hold the 300? I could see them bouncing this and selling to the weekend. Possibly, yeah. Possibly. Possibly. Coming up. Put sold is bullish. Put sold is a component of bullish. So if I want full-on bullish mode, I need call buying and put selling. Right now, we're not seeing any call buying, just put selling. So yes, it is bullish, but it's not what I would call actively bullish. It's more passively bullish, if that makes any sense. If I start to see them piling in calls, then it's going to fly. All right. Let's see if we can climb high of the day, then we'll go to 300. We got our 3C at 230, and now we're having a nice little rocket ships back up. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. 10 more points till 300. I just want an instant payout prop firm that needs no stupid upload videos. TPT, baby. TakeProfitTrader. TakeProfitTrader is the best prop firm out there collectively. Very quick payouts, no nonsense, daily payouts. You can take a pad every day. And free funded account with the code. Free funded accounts. You pay a one-time fee and you are good to go, homie. Good to go. What was the name of the options prop firm? I didn't catch the name. It said it wasn't out yet, but it's coming. Giggity. I'm thinking we bounce today, then pump over the holiday week on a low volume. Maybe, but I need to see it first. Propa Johns, that's right. Once I can get my hands on about 50, 60 million, I'll start my own prop firm, and I'm going to call it either Propa Johns or Jabroni Prop, one of the two. I'm embarrassed to say I blew my 150K funded yesterday on TPT. I need an accountability buddy. Well, find someone. I appreciate the transparency, backseat driver. We all learn from that stuff. So find yourself an accountability partner, and hold yourself accountability buddyable. All right, here we come. News in 4 minutes. News in 4 minutes. Big old red candle. Sweeping red candle. Boom. They are selling calls. There's no call buying whatsoever. They're just dumped calls. Whatever little bitty, itty bitty little calls they bought, they sold them all the way off. Crazy. Crazy. When the MM's trying to get at you, prop it like it's hot. Prop it like it's hot. Oh my gosh. We just went there. Look at that 15-minute candle. Yesterday I took 3 trades, 2 3C setups on gold that I won, and I tried to play the NASDAQ downside and got wicked out. I knew I shouldn't have entered, but I disregarded my rules and tried to join the fun and took an L. Ended the day green but disappointed. I went against my rules, learning another experience and wanted to share. Beautiful, Mgabaguli. Take the notes, learn from it, put it in the power bank, baby. Great stuff. When the markets yeah. I love it. I won't sing anymore. It's terrible. Are there any major outliers on Bookmap? Not really. We have a little liquidity up to 24.6, which is interesting considering that is where the offering is at the moment. On ES, we had a whole bunch of liquid at 65.85, which we ate up, and now we have 66.10. And we have nothing but dojis on the 15 so far. We've been at the same price now we've been at since 6 o'clock this morning. We have put selling, call selling at the moment. I love big longs. Oh my God. Y'all kill me. Y'all kill me. This doesn't look good here. Had a guy yesterday that blew my mind. It just shows you how much that we are in dire need for a retracement. We had dudes on Twitter calling for buy the dip. They're calling the bottom. And I'm like, we're still just under all-time highs. Like, that's the point of the market we've reached, is that people forget that the market cycles up and down. Calling the bottom at all-time highs is insanity after one day. We are in much, much need for a retracement to remind people that the market cycles, and that's normal. You can look for a market cycle without looking for a crash. When is Papa John's getting started? As soon as I can come up with about 50 mil. I'm a little short right now. Go fund me. Yeah. All right, here we go. 10 o'clock data. We have call selling, put selling right now. Who's going to win? We're still working on fixing the computer. Yeah. I can't get BSODs on prop firms. What's the best way to start with TPT? Which promo code? You could use the promo code OMTPT. It's also at the top of the little YouTube stream there. I'll give you an affiliate link too. But you get 40% off, plus you get free funded accounts. So once you get funded, it's free. So there's a one-time fee, and that's it. One-time fee. How short? 49.9 mil. I'm a little higher than that. Top wick, back over. There's no call buying here. We have nothing but bearish price action. VIX is climbing. Dropping back over. Boom. Can you go in a bit more into lifetime funded accounts? Not lifetime. It's free funded account. So you get an eval, you pass it, and you have a free funded account. So you only pay one fee, which is the evaluation fee, and then you have a free funded. All right, red candles here. Massive top wick coming over. We have low of the day of 25,101. This is very similar price action to yesterday, just a lot of wiki back and forth. The bulls have not been able to capture a high yet. So after a 1,400 point dump on NASDAQ, the bulls remain absent. No good. Ain't no good. Ain't no good. About to put a new low of the day here. I've got the morning range plotted. It's the red line and the two red lines, high and low. Dropping. $24,105. There we go. New low of the day. This is a very important part right here. Buyers, the sellers have to capture this price and hold it, and then we will downshift into 23,960. The absence of 3Cs shows continuation to 24,000, which it looks like we are doing right here. Right here. 24.08 and dropping. Beautiful. Beautiful. Can they hold it? We have no call buying. I'm watching the option data very closely. Trace indicator. Let's let this baby load. We are in deep negative gamma territory. Look on this trace indicator right here. Normally this thing right here is blue or purple, whatever you call it. Blue and purple all over the place, which indicates there's a lot of positive gamma nodes. So the fact that this is deep red shows two things. One, we are in deep negative gamma. Number two, highly unstable. That's what that means, is that there's no true option stability here, which means we're going to have very much outlier moves. We just had a 240-point sell-off. So we are in a large IV, large range move. It's either blue or purple or pink. Nice. So there's our first bounce off of the overnight low, or not the overnight, the daily low. Instant follow-up with red. We have liquidity down to 24,050. So far, it's just back and forth. Put selling, call selling. That's what we're seeing. I think October 10th screwed up the market makers, and they've been trying to make up for it. I don't know. Maybe. I'm telling you, be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Another bounce off that. We have a high volume bounce. Bottom wick. 3C doji. And all the way back up. These 5-minute candles are incredibly large. So if you're playing, obviously you need to be playing with a little bit smaller position sizing. But the 5-minute higher highs are extremely high and low. So the 1 minute pretty much is where you're going to get your confirmation, unfortunately, which makes volatility very aggressive. Since you mentioned a couple of days ago, I thought I'd tell you I went to Golden Corral last night. Did you really? Was it glorious? Hey, look at this ladder on NASDAQ. Look at that. Interesting. Muy interesante. Man, I haven't seen those in a couple of years. Hey, little fella. Interesting. Bouncing back up, NASDAQ. 140-point bounce. He had 4 steaks. 4 plates of steaks and chicken. I love it. Killing it. Killing it. Wow, what a move. $754 million puts sold, 144 million calls sold. I remember you showing those ladders years ago. Yeah, we haven't seen those ladders in a while. About 2022 or so is when those kind of disappeared after 2022. I have a mental block in my head with TPT. I don't get it. Why? 24,200. $2,022 mention. Yeah, 2022 was my top year in terms of P&L. Now Q1 of this year beat it, but not the entire year, just in terms of that one quarter. I will. MF accounts are green with 1 mini top separate green, another blown TPT Pro with 5 MNQs. I don't know. I promise you that it's not paranormal though. It's just coincidence. My point still stands in the market being in a bubble. Good earnings can't hide reality. High unemployment combined with rampant inflation leads to less consumer spending. Not to see the same earnings, not to mention with AI in particular. That's all I got. Another big red move here. Coming off. Put selling, call selling here. NASDAQ is dropping back over. Another top wick on the 5-minute and the 1 minute for NASDAQ. And if they give out this out, that's going to be all she wrote down to 24,050. Another top wick. See what we can do here. We got under the low of 160. Back and forth. NASDAQ will bounce back today. I have no idea. Nobody knows. I don't want to get into predictions. Today's too important to get into predictions. Just be patient, and I promise you'll be rewarded. All that ladder's been removed. Still put selling, call selling. There's no put buying or call buying for that matter. First day of funded locked out. Had to take myself out to preserve account. Need to keep the mindset right. Yeah, buddy. Nice, Dave. Keep grinding, baby. Keep grinding. Today's one of those days, man, that they're going to turn the grinder on and then they're going to break it. And if you're patient, you'll get it. Another big red move. These are massive candles. Massive candles. 105. They just bought back a ton of puts. They haven't bought any calls. They just sold off a little bit of chunk of calls, but they just bought back about 200 million worth of puts there. So just keep an eye out. Things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. A lot of red move here. Make or break point here for the old NAS. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA's dropping, getting crushed on a little ascending wedge. Microsoft is getting crushed. Apple is topping, but high. Amazon's mid. AVGO's getting crushed. Meta getting crushed. Google's getting crushed. All of tech is getting crushed. Except for Apple. Eli Lilly just came in the first healthcare company to hit $1 trillion. I don't know how to feel about that. Oh, man. 24,100 looks likely here. Watching the daily SPY CCI approach zero last time it happened was the end of February. The market tanked. Who's the only company that hasn't invested billions in AI? I don't know. Apple? Is my cold getting better? I think so. I mean, I feel fine except for the chest. Just a little bit of congestion. I gotta sweat it out though. I gotta get on the assault bike for about an hour and just sweat it out. Liquidity at 24,080. They're gonna get there. They're gonna get there. I think this is gonna break here. This looks like it's gonna absorb and just kind of get that 080. Get you some bone broth. I love bone broth, dude. Love it. There we go. Give me that 080. I love it. I can't do a salt bike. I have a big beard and the fan blows it everywhere. Makes me look like an insane person when I get off of it. I love it. Crazy EKGs are caused by the COVID Omicron variant. Yeah. 3,000 cells at 65.65. What do we have? I don't see anything at 65.65. Another top wick here on NASDAQ. CVD is plummeting. They're buying back a couple of puts. CVD is dropping. You see this little cumulative volume delta here? There was a big dump right there. Yeah, as the aggregate kind of got a little weaker. NASDAQ's got 24.08. We're still top wicking, and after that it's going to be 24,000. CVD is cumulative volume delta. It's the little, it's a little numerical value on the bottom right of Bookmap that shows you where the aggregate buyers or sellers are. We're seeing your net. When y'all want Bookmap, it's on TradingView. When you all want TradingView, it's on Bookmap. All right, another top wick here. Can we get the 80? Can we get the 80? Let's see. This looks like an absorption. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce, 4th bounce, and then fail, and then look for 80. But we'll see. Trump speaking? Is he really? I didn't even see that. Oh, man. These platforms need blinking red lights and really annoying sounds whenever Trump speaks. Pretty much. Bloomberg's narrative is AI bubbles spooking the markets. Thoughts? I think everybody can see that that we're in an AI bubble or an everything bubble. But I mean, I don't know. I try not to get wrapped around that. I learned my lesson after 2022 of there we go. There's 80. After this, if they hold this without bouncing, I would first right now immediately trim your trailing stops down immediately right now. So let's pause conversation. Go to your brokerages, roll your trailing stops down. After that, 24,000 if this holds. If it bottom wicks, then we'll look for a 3C. But right now, let's see if we can grab 24,000. I learned after 2022 to kind of do away with narrative. It's just there's no way to tell what's bullish and what's bearish in terms of a headline. All right, there's a large red, broke low, and this had that look right there. So if you look at you had 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounces, and then this right here as we absorb the lows. There's 0 call buying. It's all call selling, and now they have purchased about 300 million of puts back. Is SPX 6500 in the cards? I mean, we're right above it. I mean, we nearly got down there yesterday. It's definitely in the cards. I mean, it's not that far of a stretch to go down to 6500. It's crazy seeing the markets be in extreme fear when we're just under all-time highs. It's a clown show market. Just play everything as we have it. BlackRock just dumped another 4,200 Bitcoins and 44,000 Ethereums. Interesting. All right, so bounce off that 480. So our target was 80. They got 40 points under it to 40, and then bounce. Oh man. Garbage. Does IWM normally trade the same as Qs? Well, they're two different things. Are they normally trading the same? No. Sometimes they're correlated, sometimes they're inverse. But you have to determine when we're having a rotation day or not. When they take a session to rotate in or out of small caps into tech, then they'll trade inversely. Some dude dumped 15 Bitcoin, 124,000. Wow. I heard a rumor that BlackRock is trying to corner MSTR. I heard that they are trying to dump Bitcoin so the Trump administration can pad their Bitcoin reserves. Of course, you don't know what's rumor or truth, but another red candle. Still trying to dump everything here. I don't know what they're trying to do with this today, man. $24,065. This is another test of the lows. They keep on dumping every single little miniature bounce on down to 24,000. It's very. This is not the greatest of price action. Everything is just wiki. And I'm sure everyone's already going to see it. They're already going to comment on it. Boom. VIX is rocket ships, people. VIX is about to go back over 27 on our way to 30. What is your recommended tier for trading view? I do the ultimate, the top one. I think that's called ultimate. I don't know. Whatever the top one is what I always do. Another bounce off the trend line. Is ultimate overkill? Probably. Hey, that was second highest volume candle of the day right there on that little green on the 1 minute. You still need a higher high. They're starting to buy back some calls, but they're still buying puts too. They're trending back in the direction of buying some puts, but now they're buying a little bit of calls, and that's the second highest volume candle of the day. I'm not really sure what they intend on doing with this price action, so on the 5 minute we have two bottom wicks right now. Over 144 will give us a 3C long. But I would highly recommend trimming down position sizing today. For show. This ain't the greatest of price action. You probably said that 15 times in the past 2 days, Trader J. Oh, man. Bottom wicks here. Once we get over 24,140, you could play the 3C long. Eventually it'll be right, yeah. VIX is back and forth. We have 24.2. What's the amount of detonated RAM I would have to survive? I don't know what you're talking about, B, but no idea. $24,140 was the 3C high, and they bounced back up to 200. These are very quick moves. We have liquidity up. Do we still need to touch overnight lows? I mean, we don't. I mean, that would be the target on the downside. We don't need to do that though. But right now, they are just reversing every single thing. We have 718 million sold calls, not cold sols, and 48 million in puts sold. But that is they're trending back into call buying territory. Are we long on this yet? Not yet. We can't get a close over nothing here. Can't get a close over nothing. $80 million. 700 million. VIX is up and up. Terrible price action, dude. Terrible. These are very, very large candles. These 5-minute candles are like 60 to 100 point candles. Oh, man. It's almost gym time. Yeah, buddy. Another sweeping top wick. $24,085. They've reversed every single little move. Every move is either wicked or reversed, which is very similar to yesterday's price action. Until we finally broke, which we broke right about now yesterday, give or take. So just be patient. Yesterday turned from choppy to very obvious. They're just back and forth, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. Haven't moved. Look at that. Look at that 4-hour chart. It is awful. Teasing the bears. I think they're teasing the bulls here, man. They keep on trying to get the obvious move. The obvious move here is to buy the dip and let it rally. But they can't get anything going. And the longer they stay down here, the odds increase of a repeat of yesterday. And that's going to cause a lot of pain. Another red engulfing. Coming up on low of the day. They just bought back 300 million worth of puts, but I need to see a lot more activity in the puts to get that thing going. Nasdaq's about to put a new low in, and new low of the day right there. So you could take that off. That's been broken. And, we'll leave that trend line on. Assuming they hold this, which I don't know if they are going to not. 950 right here. Massive top wick. That's right, ODS. That's exactly what happened yesterday. That's what exactly happened yesterday, and I think what's going to happen. It's call buying uptick now. They had a little uptick earlier, but they sold them back off. Put buying uptick. They bought back about 200 million of puts, but I'm not seeing a lot of directionality, so I don't really want to sit here and fine tune the call flow. I want to see an extended move one way or the other to get me confident. That's the way I use Hero. Is if I have an extended move. This little back and forth crap is for the birds. You can't go by a single little spurt in options. There's too much. There's too many millions out there for it. Pepperidge Farm remembers, yeah. I remember when you took a 0DD pretty much daily. Yeah, that was great in volatility. When there was high volatility, and I may start doing that again too. If we go back into another crazy 2000, like if 2026 is like 2022, then I'll probably start doing that again because that's when I play zeros. I don't like playing zeros when things are slow. I like playing them when they're big because you know pretty instantly if you're right and you're wrong. And I could turn a very small amount of money, a very small amount of risk into an obscene amount of money. And that's why I play them. I mean, heck, I could put $1,000 risk on and make, 4 or 5 grand if you're right on a day like yesterday. Another top wick, 2402. top wick back over. When am I going to swing positions again? When I'm comfortable. When I'm comfortable. NVIDIA just bounced a pre-market low. NASDAQ is getting crushed. Just still, we have liquidity a little bit higher. VIX is rocketing again. Just took high of the day. We have put buy and call selling. And we have a new low of the day. Now we're going for the 24,960 on down. Is going to be the next target. That is going to be the next target. $978 and dropping. Right here. What ticker is this? You're looking at NASDAQ right here. Another low of the day here. Sweeping lower moves. We have puts are coming down. We have calls are being sold. We have NASDAQ liquidity at 23.9 and making a move. Boom, flushed, 950. They're buying a bunch of puts back. They've bought back 500 million worth of puts. New low of the day. They just took out the big 630 explosion, and now they're going for the overnight low of 902. All the way down. Next low, right there. What do you think a good downside target is? Right now, it's going to be market low of 902. After that, we'll have a repeat of yesterday. Very similar open to yesterday, and now we're getting a continuation. I would look for 23.9 here. We have a ton of put buying finally, which is a key metric for options flow, is when they finally start trending. If this fails, 23.9, 50 points down. A lot of put buying, call selling. Here's the options flow right here. All we need is for this to retest and go lower. Beautiful stuff. 15-minute large red engulfings with top wicks. Come on, baby, give me a 5. Thank you. Still dropping. Now they're below the trend line, so I'm going to delete that trend line. 23,950 is holding. They're still buying a bunch of puts. Next extension lower. Next extension lower. Right here, baby. Right here. This could turn into a very fun day. Could. Turn into a very fun day. We've got to get down to 23,900. It's not nearly as aggressive as yesterday so far, but it's heading that direction. They're buying puts and selling calls. VIX is rocketing. VIX is back almost to 28. VIX is about to take out yesterday's highs, and it'll go to 30, hopefully. Hopefully. That volume is crazy. It is, yeah. But it's still top wicking back over. Goal almost met, but decided to close it down. Not risking an awesome week on a trade that I may regret. Beautiful. Nice, Damien. We'll probably be not trading the next week. All right. Nice, Damien. Hope you have a fantastic holiday and everything goes well with the wife. Still holding. It's fantastic. Not doing nearly as good as yesterday, of course. Took a very small position for a quick profit, but I'm just not as confident as I was yesterday with these back and forth crap. Not as confident as yesterday on the back and forth stuff. SPY expected move is to 643. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. SPY is already 651.8. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. 23,850 will be next move down. Big boy pants. Microsoft Nvidia is possibly turning around. We have call buying, put selling on this move. You see this. The options flows is all over the place. They went from aggressive bear flow. Now they're buying back some calls, selling some puts. Right here. See the blue line going up, green line going up. Are these charts you're showing off call buying from spot gamma? It is. It is. Coming back up here, NASDAQ. Back and forth. 15-minute chart right there. Climbing. Big old move back up. They're buying a bunch of calls here. They're buying a bunch of calls here. And selling off a crap ton of calls. That's the strongest call activity yet. The strongest activity yet. We're at 3C on the 5-minute. Yeah, I'm not taking a secondary trade here. Not yet. If they start to pound it higher, there's going to be plenty of opportunity. Plenty of opportunity. But I need to be very, I want to be very much aware of this stuff. Terrible. Yeah. It was a great move downward, but they bounced it back up, and they're putting on a lot of call buying, put selling here. Liquidity's all over the place. So another bounce back up, coming up. If they take this, I'd probably look for another test of the 200. But they are buying a lot of calls and selling some puts here. There we go. 24.08. Call buying, put selling. Coming back up. This is a different style of price action so far. But I would just still be very careful. They have whipsawed every single move so far. Every single move. How do you know it's call buying, put selling? Because I'm watching this indicator that shows it reflects as such. That bottom left, you see the blue line is puts, the green line is calls presented in delta notional. If the blue line's going up, that is put selling. If the green line is going up, that is call buying. And right now, it's just all over the place. All over the place. Where does it get all its options data from? From the exchanges. They pay a lot of money for it. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA just dumped to 172 and then bounced. That was also a decent bounce from back on September 25th. So NVIDIA sitting at 3-month lows. Here's the 4-hour chart on NASDAQ. That is now 4 attempts to break below that 24,080 mark. And all 4 times have aggressively bottom wick. So you see that this yellow block here is demand central. There's not a single body under this level. It's all wicks. Data centers will continue to boost electricity prices in the United States, according to the Fed. Yeah, we knew that. You're welcome. You're welcome. "100% full port hamster energy factories." There you go. Eventually, you're going to have to go nuclear. Is there any nuclear energy stocks we can buy? That's where everything's going to have to go. I don't think we're going to have a choice. It ain't going to be solar. Solar requires too much land mass on that scale. That's why we need Google bots, Phil. We need Google bots. I think if we make new lows today, some margin accounts will get called and a vacuum happens. Yeah, I mean, that's how capitulation starts. Or continue, I should say. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, I'm not seeing a lot of clarity in a lot of anything, which is kind of a bummer. I was excited about today's session, but this is too much back and forth. I need some continuation. I mean, the ranges are great. If you can catch one of these moves, I mean, we're still talking about 100, 200 point bounces and sell-offs, but it's very wicky. My uncle's worked in a nuclear plant for 55 years. He started when 9-mile nuclear plant opened. Interesting. My energy company has a line item that we have to pay extra in order for them to use green energy. Like, what the crap? Yep. Optimus jabroni. Another big red candle. All over the place, back and forth. So I'm sitting here looking at a Bass Pro Shop Christmas catalog. And I used to look at these when I was a kid a lot. It's gigantic. It's like 100 pages deep. And there's one single page in this gigantic catalog of firearms. Every bit of it is clothing. I did not realize Bass Pro Shop has turned into a clothing store. I thought it was like all outdoor items. Lame. Lame. Do you ever see how much Bass Pro Shop gets in our tax dollars because they call themselves a museum? I've heard that before. I heard that that's the reason why they have the aquarium in them. Yeah. I told my family that's the reason why when I die I wanna be buried on the land, so we can count this as a cemetery and get tax-free benefits. Even till my dying day, I'm going to fight the government on taxes. No taxes and automatic weapons for everybody. That's what I think America should be. Carhartt's high fashion. Man, it's crazy. Champion from Walmart is high fashion, and Carhartt is high fashion. What world do we live in? Now the bottom wick, back and forth. I don't recommend a lot of stuff right here. Just wait till things, you can play with your heart's content, or until the market really gives us some momentum here, because this is garbage. Garbage. Ariat is now high fashion. I have some Ariat boots from 2012 that are holding up like a champ, man. What does a blue line represent? The blue line is put activity. So this little line, that is put activity in Delta Notional, which now is representing that there's a lot of put selling here. When this line goes up, they're selling puts to the tune of about 730 million at the moment. The white line is collective. That's them blended in the two, and the green line is calls. I resell a lot of Carhartt stuff. Nice. On a bus to Animal Kingdom right now, listening to the vibes. What was that about the aquariums? Bass Pro Shops consider themselves a museum, so they get a tax write-off. It's kind of like churches. Churches call their private jets places of worship, so they can get tax-free benefits on buying jets. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, 100%. Nothing makes sense anymore. It's an evil world we live in, Juicebox. Yeah, I'm gonna hang a crucifix on the outside of my house and call it a place of worship. I mean, technically it is a place of worship. We worship in the house. That's true, Kraken. Cowboy stuff has been popular trendy since Yellowstone. Yeah, Yellowstone was a great show until they did what all other Hollywood shows do. That's right, Rombrewski. Yeah. We just don't use links apparently. Apparently, D. Trent. Apparently. I need to look up the cemetery thing. My dad is chilling in his urn in his place. There you go. CEO Jensen has said that the market did not appreciate its incredible quarter. Like, come on, you didn't buy the fraud? Come on. Poor baby. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I got that vibe when Black Coffee said that. Oh man. Got to spice things up every now and then on boring days. What a meme. Yeah. I just have that on hand. Someone sent that to me a few days ago, and I got a kick out of it, so I thought I'd find a good opportunity to use it here. I have a whole folder of cartoon genitalia. No, I'm just kidding. Well, this is pretty terrible. I guess it's the the Friday grind, baby. I bought a property 2 years ago that had a chapel and a rectory on it that was converted to what is a rectory? I was converted to a two-home property to cemetery on the land. There was no tax owed on purchase. We needed to pay for all the upkeep on the graves and keep it open for visitors. Really? That's pretty neat, Kennedy. What's with Americans and house conversions? Y'all are converting everything into living spaces. I don't know what really started it. I've done a flip before. People convert a lot of different things in living space. That's true. The unique thing about the United States, I don't know if you've never been in the United States, but one, obviously, United States is a gigantic place. It takes 35 hours to drive from one side to the other. And that's if you don't take any breaks. But there's a whole bunch of different types. You go to Colorado, it's all stucco style houses. Arizona stucco. You go to the East Coast, it's going to be a lot of brick style homes. There's all a bunch of different types, and people like to, with everyone moving all over the place, people like to bring their culture with them to another state, and they build a house or they build a barndominium like in my case, or convert other stuff to other living spaces. Do we have a 3Cs forming? I don't really know yet. I've decided I am not going to touch this again until we have something to show me that to get me excited about entering. I don't want to get caught up in back and forth crap. The part I did not like was allowing visitors anytime. With the family, it makes me uneasy to allow randos on my property. I did have the ability to sit hours, but I need to gate the whole thing. I see. They're selling back the calls and buying back the puts back and forth. What is that, like an airplane hangar? Now that would be awesome. That would be awesome. That boy has some toys. Nice. I think it's close to like 50 hours to drive across the USA. I don't know. I wouldn't think that far. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought it was about 35 hours. But another giant drop here. About to put in another low. 23,900 will be liquidity. Buyer still cannot put on a rally. I am not in a trade currently. Chasing is not a good idea. Your house is barndominium? It is. Yep. It is a barndominium. The best time for the cannonball run is 25 hours 39 minutes, set by Ann Arn Tolman. Wow. 2,800 miles from New York City to Redondo Beach, California. Wow. Average speed of 112. Wow. Pull it up right now. About to check it out. Thanks for the recommendation. Nice liner. You're welcome, Leno. Last Lego, buddy. Do you split it into rooms like a normal house, or is it open air layout? No, it's split into rooms. We did a farmhouse style, so when we have, everything that you have in a normal home, it's just gigantic. It's a big space. I wanted to build a barndominium 10 years ago, but the wife shot it down. My wife was very much against it because she wanted to build a traditional farmhouse home, and we went that route. But they wanted like $2.5 million to build the home that we wanted, and I told her there's absolutely no way that I'm spending $2.5 million on a house. So now we have a barndominium, same square footage, all the same decor, for a quarter of the price. How did you deal with heating? Heating's fantastic. We have just a traditional electric unit, but it's spray foamed. So with this cooler temperatures, I wanted to test it because we had a cold day the other day, and I wanted to one cold day, and I wanted to test it before we got into the heat of the winter, or the coldness of the winter. So I set the heat overnight to about 70 degrees. Let it, obviously did its thing overnight to heat wash the whole house, and then in the morning time I shut the heat off, just to shut it off, and I said let's see what happens throughout the whole day, and it stayed at 70 nearly the entire day. It didn't start dipping until the sun went down. So it's incredibly efficient. Why are barndominiums cheaper? It's the way they're built, and it's the speed at which they're built. Yep, Damien. Yep. But I haven't had to run it yet. You don't usually run the in-floor heating until the really cold temperatures come. You should start a company making just those. Well, the way they have them, I mean, I general contracted it myself. I did all the stuff, but curious about barndominiums. Do I have a basement? I do not have a basement, but you can do them. Another big bounce on Nasdaq. You can put a basement in them. That's one of my regrets. I wish I would have put in a basement. Man, they are just slinging some put activity, man. Massive put buying and then put selling and put buying, back and forth. I want a barn up, but California land is super expensive. Yeah. I'm planning to put our Bondo insulated crawl space. Nice. Yeah, the Amish built the shell. I hired the Amish to build just the shell because they're fantastic at it, and then I contracted out everything on the inside. If I'm being honest, if I could go back and redo this, I would do a smaller home, and I would put a gigantic exterior building, like a play area for the whole family, like where you could like a football field size exterior building. Which I'm still going to do eventually, but it's going to take me a little bit longer because I have to rebuild the funds after paying for the house. Can you finance custom builds? You can. Yep. Paintball, absolutely. I mean, anything. I mean, that's great. I mean, I think that's better for the family. We have an active family, so that'd be great stuff. All right, another bounce here on Nasdaq. I'm not really looking to take a trade here. I don't want to get caught up. I've had a fantastic week. Yesterday was extraordinary. I don't want to end on a bad note. I'm not touching this until we. I'm not going to say I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it until we get some momentum. If we do. Jabroni Hot Limes Outdoor Venue. Yeah, buddy. Hey, just get them strong, Phil. We put an addition on our house and just did a crawl. We did a basement of the crawl space, but money was tight. Yeah. No data for the BLS. Nice. Mozambique, the kids. Yeah, if you've never considered a barnum, I'd highly encourage it. It's a fantastic, fantastic option. And you don't have to have it look like a barn. Like you can do a very basic where it looks like a barn, or you could do, fancy stuff. So, what's the square footage of the house and how much do you pay? We have a 4,000 square foot. We paid just under 135 a square foot for ours because I general contracted it. Would you say your humidity increases with the in-floor heating? Slightly, yeah. An old high school friend of mine lived in a very large property, I think 50 acres with hills, woods. Every year they would hold an annual capture the flag game on the property. Now that's an awesome idea because we have 50 acres, and I've told the kids that we need to do something like that. I want to build a little paintball speed run field down there. You're building that in Haiti? Nice. Would that be considered a double bottom on Nasdaq? Yes. Or a triple bottom if you're looking at the prior bounces back at 6:30. But we can't break we can't break back over the morning low. That's the problem for the bulls. It's going to be so weird not having a basement when we move south. So my buddy, his house burnt down last year, so they're in the process of finishing up the rebuild. And he's got a very modern style home, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, probably about 3,800 square feet, and the entire home, he has a basement that's the exact same footprint as the house. The entire crawl space is basement, on like 12-foot ceiling basement. It's extraordinary, and it's all concrete walls. And I was super envious when I went to go see his house because I didn't even think about that. Super envious. Nice, Phil. You can have that in California? There you go. That's my kind of civil disobedience right there, baby. Yeah. We just built a 3,500 square foot house here in Central Texas, and I put a 1K square foot shop. Nice. Yeah, the shops are awesome, dude. Nice, Matt. What did he have? He posted a picture of it right there. My friend had an abandoned farm from 1910. He had a 3-story house, massive barn, work shed, several other buildings surrounded by woods. We dug trenches and everything. Had tons of people play every weekend. That would be awesome. All right, Nasdaq is climbing back up here. But no additional trades for me. This is price action's terrible. Yeah, I built many of those in Birmingham. Nice. Risk off into long holiday week, most likely. Well, there's a couple of theories there. That's a possibility. Other possibilities that the dealers are going to use this opportunity to crush vol, short some vol opportunities here with a shortened low volatility week, which I'm not really sure what right now. They're still spiking the VIX, and they can't put on a rally. So we may be looking at a risk off opportunity here. I don't know. I would call it Taco Bell money, but did you see they took away my chili cheese burritos from Taco Bell? Like, why would you do that to me? Why would you show me the dream just to take it away from me? Hate Taco Bell. Put selling, call buying right now. It'll be back. They better. The option flow is back to looking bullish, but I don't know if I can trust it. I mean, it's just they're whipsawing it. They're back to selling puts, buying calls. We have another 30-minute bottom wick, but I can't trust nothing. Last I saw, you can still order those through the app. No, because yesterday I wanted to go get one, and they did not have them on the app. So I did not order there. That's the only item that made me go back to Taco Bell was the chili cheese burrito. Is this like a low volume test from the VPA? So, that's a great question. So my short answer is yes. So we have a massive move down on NASDAQ to test the same area from October 10th. We all know what happened the day after October 10th. They rocket shipped. Everybody and their mother were thinking that's what's going to happen today. Bounce and go back up. And yet the markets cannot put on a rally. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts on the 30-minute chart to break back under 24,000 in the past 24 hours. 5 attempts. So the buyers are on the clock here. If they continue to put on these low volume tests into 24,000, eventually it's going to break, and we're going to transact down into the 1,000 points on NASDAQ. So we need volume to come in. The essence of the 3 C's is that volume equals activity. We could sit here and speculate and opine on what the market's going to do, but right now the VPA is saying they're not bouncing yet. We need a high volume bounce. We need a wick, and we need a higher high to get us back up to 24.3. On the 30-minute chart, we need to clear 24,100. That'll be a great place to get us some momentum to start coming up to the 24,600. Now, the beautiful thing is, if you can wait, is that when the market bounces, the risk reward will be phenomenal. We'll have such an aggressive move up that you can even be just a touch late and still make a ton of money. You just have to wait for that to come instead of speculating. Everybody's looking for a bounce. Everybody. Because the human mind, especially the retail trader, myself included, we're not good at seeing what the not obvious move is. All right, well, it bounced here on October 10th. Why won't it bounce today? Sure, let's go long. And what are we doing now? We're about to break new lows. So we have to wait for the move to present itself here. Right side of the V. Do I ever look at usual whales in place? I don't. I tried unusual whales when it first really kind of got going. I did not care for it. I did not care for it. So you would want to see high volume break and hold. No, I want low volume. High volume indicates that we've hit demand and buyers are going to rocket ship. Low volume indicates that the sellers have overcome. There's not enough buyers there to hit, and then we transact lower. How much is the option tool? There's a bunch of different options. A bunch of different options. You can take a look. Unusual Wells is an amazing X account, but I never buy their products. I'd agree with that. How long did I try it? I tried it for a month. 1 month. Green move coming up here, NASDAQ. That was a 110 point move. Wow. Still seeing a bunch of puts selling. You probably will like the new data service called Gamma Strike. It's made by a trading Discord and cheaper than any other platform I've seen. Interesting. Is this the bullish hope right here? Is this their final move? I don't know. There's no volume on this move. That's the problem. I certainly don't want to chase anything. This is untradeable. I know it's kind of tried. I'm not touching anything right now until I see something that really jumps off the page at me, which may not be anything. I may be starting my weekend already, but I'm definitely going to keep a close eye on things. I learned my lesson last night about chasing. 3 C's, discipline, work, chasing hurt. Yep. Have you ever seen a move with no volume? Absolutely. You know, it's the volume indications is not going to pinpoint everything. It's just going to show you the high confidence stuff, and it certainly can bounce or sell off on nothing. Definitely. But they are selling a tremendous amount of puts. There are 1 billion puts sold, and they're starting to buy back some calls here. That blue line is puts, and they are selling a bunch of them. This looks like a bullish move on the option chain, and they're over the 3C highs. They claim the 100 to 24-100, which should get us to at least 207. But I would definitely recommend smaller position sizing. These moves are big enough where if you catch it with a small position size, it'll It'll reward you. Yeah, I saw that, J-Dog. It's terrible. Here comes more green. Wow, look at that. Oh, man. Another top wick, but they're still holding. VIX is rolling off. We have call, buying, put, selling. We have a high volume 3C claiming of the 24-100, but no momentum through. Interesting. Your long-term self, your short-term self wants big wins. Your long-term self wants small losses. Choose wisely. Interesting. 30.5-minute candles is a bad day. Yep. Right now, the liquidity is 187, although it's very light. We have ES is all stacked at 65.87, but even that's pretty light. CVD is trending back towards positive. We have call, selling, put buying, and I think we're going to attack 24,200 on NASDAQ. There we go, 162. We just ate up all that liquidity here at 65.90, and they are selling a ton of puts. I mean, it's straight up. There's no way we're selling back off with that kind of put selling. And we just had a 24-100 claim going to 200 now. Going to 200. Can you please explain what the high volume 3C? Yep, that is my mechanism to trade. It's called the 3 criteria, 3 Cs. First C is volume, second C is wick, third C is price action. And we had strong wick at 1020. We had a decent amount of volume there too, and then the claim in the higher high, which is 24,100, has now led to a move to 200. Ultimately, you're trying to catch the right side of the V. On bounces, on the right side of the V, on sell-offs, whichever one. Still going. There's 200. First target. Up next, high of the day. High of the day. Made some schmeckles there. Nice. Nice, Proggy. All right, we are at 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, which is the end of the stream. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to watch this very closely. And really, the market is going to have to convince me to get in because I don't like this back and forth stuff. There's been some decent signals here, but it's still not the best. Not after yesterday. So let the market tip its hand. My guess is that they'll put on something, some outlier move before the end of the day. VIX is dropping, and after the Nasdaq plunged down about 300 points, it's bounced back up. So they are definitely holding the support. Play the outlier moves, man. These moves are so large that you could zoom out to the long time frames. A break over the high of today of about 300 will get us a very large move. And then if we break lower, another large move. So just be patient. Don't diddle in the middle. It's Friday. Don't mess up your weekend. Next week is Thanksgiving. It's fantastic. Yeah, I could leave it up, Juicebox. I could leave it up for you. So, yeah. So I hope you have a good rest of the day. Hit me up with any questions. Go sign up for TradingView Black Friday deal. Use the link. Get 80% off plus a free month. And if you want to trade a prop, go trade TakeProfitTrader. Code OMTPT. Best prop in the game. Speaking of which, we'll be starting up the next competition here shortly. I'll probably announce it sometime this weekend. And we'll get started next week. So. Oh, nice TA. My Funded Futures. Beautiful. Is that the first daily payout? Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I started affiliation with My Funded Futures as well because they have daily payouts now. And there you go. Someone took a withdrawal with them. Fantastic. So. Awesome, y'all. Keep it up the great work. I'll see you all bright and early Monday morning. I'm out. See you.